A bank employee armed with a rifle shot and killed 4 colleagues and wounded 9 other people at his workplace in downtown Louisville, Kentucky on Monday, according to police, while live streaming the attack.
The suspect shot at officers. We then returned fire and stopped that threat. The suspect is deceased.
Louisville Metro Police Department Chief Jacqueline Gwynn Villarroel identified the shooter as 23-year-old Connor Sturgeon, who joined the downtown branch of the Old National Bank as a full-time employee last year. In the latest in a long series of mass shootings in the United States, police said they responded within minutes to reports of an attacker at about 8:30 a.m. Police identified the dead, whose ages ranged from 40 to 64 years old, as Joshua Barrick, Juliana Farmer, James Tutt, and Thomas Elliott. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said he knew some of the victims, including Elliott, a senior vice president at the bank.
I have a very close friend that didn't make it today. And I have another close friend who didn't either, and one who's at the hospital that I hope is going to make it through.
Police said one of the responding officers was struck in the head and remained in critical condition after brain surgery on Monday.
26 years of age. Just graduated from the police academy on March 31st. I just swore him in.
Mass shootings have become commonplace in the U.S. So far this year, the country has experienced 146 mass shootings, using the definition of 4 or more shot or killed, not including the shooter, according to the nonprofit Gun Violence Archive. In response to the Louisville bank attack, President Joe Biden once again reiterated his wish that Congress pass legislation requiring safe storage of firearms, background checks for all gun sales, and elimination of gun manufacturers' immunity from liability.
U.S. officials on Monday were scrambling to identify the source of what could be the most damaging leak of highly classified intelligence since the WikiLeaks publication of thousands of government documents a decade ago. At a press briefing at the White House, U.S. National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby said they were working on getting to the bottom of it.
We're taking this very, very seriously. There is no excuse for these kinds of documents to be in the public domain. They don't deserve to be in the public domain. They deserve to be protected. If there's actions that need to be taken as we learn more about the extent of what happened here, we'll obviously take those.
3 U.S. officials told Reuters that national security agencies were reviewing how they share their most sensitive secrets inside the U.S. government after the recent release of dozens of confidential documents that appeared online, and are dealing with the diplomatic fallout. Some of the most sensitive information is purportedly related to Ukraine's military capabilities and shortcomings. Information about multiple U.S. allies were also leaked. One of the documents gave details of internal discussions among senior South Korean officials about U.S. pressure on Seoul to supply weapons to Ukraine and its policy of not doing so.
미국 최고의 정보기관이
On Monday, South Korean lawmakers said they, quote, strongly regret that the U.S. had been illegally spying on allies. Reuters has reviewed more than 50 of the documents labeled secret and top secret that first appeared on social media sites in March. Reuters has not independently verified the authenticity of the documents.
I won't speak to the validity of all the documents, the ones that that don't immediately appear to be doctored. We're still working through the validity of all the documents that we know are out there.
The Department of Justice, meanwhile, has opened a criminal investigation into the disclosure of the documents. Although the release appears to be the most serious public leak of classified information in years, officials say it so far does not reach the scale and scope of the 700,000 documents, videos, and diplomatic cables that appeared on the WikiLeaks website in 2013.
Over the weekend, a single court in Texas has taken the dangerous steps of rejecting FDA's scientific approval of mifepristone, a medication that has been on the market for more than 20 years and is used safely in more than 60 countries, providing critical care for women. This court decision threatens access to this medication, which is used not only for abortion, but also for other critical purposes, like helping women manage miscarriages. This decision further stripes away Americans' fundamental freedoms, and interferes with a woman's ability to make decisions about her own body. We were prepared for this outcome, and as you all saw, the Department of Justice appealed the court's decision and is seeking a pending appeal. But I want to be clear because there is a lot of bad misinformation out there. Mifepristone continues to be available and approved for the time being. Again, mifepristone continues to be approved and available for the time being. This administration stands by the FDA and is prepared for this legal fight, and we will continue our work to protect reproductive rights to ensure that women can make their own decisions about their own bodies without government interfering.
One of the two Tennessee lawmakers expelled last week from that state's legislature was voted back to fill his vacant seat on Monday by the governing council of the city of Nashville. Justin Jones and another young black lawmaker, Justin Pearson, were kicked out from the mostly white, mostly Republican Tennessee State House after they staged a gun control protest on the House floor. The Metropolitan Council of Nashville and Davidson County voted unanimously on Monday for Jones to be reinstated. Council member Delisha Porterfield.
Representative Jones was honest about who he was, a bold and unapologetic advocate for the community. The people chose their representative, and with this vote, we will send a strong message to our state government and across the country that we will not tolerate threats to our democracy.
Speaking after his reinstatement, Jones hailed the will of the people in pushing against his expulsion.
Particularly the young people. Thank you for reminding us that the struggle for justice is fought and won in every generation. And so the people of Tennessee, I stand with you. We will continue to be your voice here, and no expulsion, no attempt to silence us will stop us, but it will only galvanize and strengthen our movement. And we continue to show up in the people's house. Power to the people.
Tennessee state law lets local councils appoint vacancies to the State House until a special election is held. Both lawmakers have told local media they intend to run in special elections to secure the remainder of their 2-year terms. It's likely that Pearson, the other expelled black legislator, could get a similar vote for reinstatement on Wednesday when the Shelby County Board gathers for a special meeting. Jones and Pearson were expelled days after an armed assailant killed 6 people in a Nashville school. In the wake of that shooting, hundreds of demonstrators flooded into the Tennessee State House, urging for stricter gun laws. The two black lawmakers were seen shouting through a bullhorn on the House floor, saying "No action, no peace." Republicans accused the pair of disorderly behavior in expelling them, but spared a white representative, Democrat Gloria Johnson, even though she joined the two in the rule-breaking demonstration. The vote to expel her came up 1 vote short of the 2/3 majority needed, prompting criticism that race was a factor.
China ended 3 days of military drills around Taiwan on Monday. It said it had tested integrated military capabilities under actual combat conditions, having practiced precision strikes and blockading the island that Beijing views as its own. Beijing announced the drills on Saturday after Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen returned to Taipei following a meeting in Los Angeles with US House of Representatives Speaker Kevin McCarthy. The Chinese military said it had successfully completed the exercises and, quote, comprehensively tested the capabilities of multiple units. China's People's Liberation Army on Sunday put out this short animation of simulated attacks on Taiwan on its WeChat account. The Eastern Theater Command of the PLA said its aircraft carrier, the Shandong, also took part in combat patrols and showed fighters taking off from its deck. Taiwan has been tracking the Shandong since last week in the Pacific Ocean. Taiwanese fighter jets could be seen taking off and landing at an airbase in the island's north. The country's military has repeatedly said it will respond calmly to China's drills and not provoke conflict. In Shanghai, people were broadly supportive of the drills. This local says he thinks the drills are a very normal thing and that China needs to show its, quote, ability to react like this. Meanwhile, in Pingtung, Taiwan's southern tip, many said they were largely unfazed. We're used to it by now, it's no big deal. It's been like this for years. China has just been like that, one man said, adding that people are nervous but not worried. International powers, including the United States, say they've been closely watching the drills. A top government spokesperson for Japan said the country has been following China's military drills around Taiwan with great interest. The European Union has also expressed concern, saying on Monday that Taiwan's status should not be changed by force, as any escalation, accident or use of force there would have huge global implications. China has never renounced the use of force to bring the democratically governed island under Beijing's control. Taiwan's government strongly disputes China's claims and has condemned the drills.
The Dalai Lama apologised on Monday after footage showed him asking a young boy to, quote, suck my tongue at a public event. Reuters has not been able to obtain access to that moment, but this footage shows their exchange before the incident. A statement on the 87-year-old's Twitter said, quote, a video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting when a young boy asked His Holiness the Dalai Lama if he could give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologise to the boy and his family, as well as his many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. The statement said the Tibetan spiritual leader often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, and that he regrets the incident. The video also shows the Nobel Peace Laureate apparently giving the boy a peck on the lips in front of a clapping and laughing audience, while a man captures the moment on a phone. The Dalai Lama fled to India in 1959 after a failed uprising against Chinese rule in Tibet. He now lives in a compound next to a temple in the northern Indian town of Dharamshala.